We love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you.
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThATuMBRELLAgUY. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me, or I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me, or I'm a man.
Like my coffee, extra mad and bitter. And then they're loyal like juice, so yeah, the man's a quitter. He's strapped face up behind the platinum grill. My style faceless, just pick these mic skills. And in the street killer, I will not be denied. That I'm mic'd up, I raise my head with pride. A force of nature, cruising the whip, doing walk-bys on your boulevard. Face my verbal cliff. In this land of live streams, baby, I'm on the road. Got my feet on the media, scraping them up my souls. It's that umbrella guy facing the accusers. Cleated outside 14s, crushing all those losers. It's that umbrella guy, they said we couldn't make it. Never ask permission, just sense I'll go and take it. The media buzzwords, they will never save you. Listen and believe it's meant to enslave you. Challenging the hypocrites, and baby, I'm on fire. They flash titles like they're royalty, but it's true that I'm a journalist. Scribble nursey rhymes, one in this grill in a basket, with a tisket and a tasket, and their morals in a casket. No morals in a casket. They're always pushing make believe and weaving straw to gold, but I'm sick of all the fairy tales and buying what I'm sold. Strolling into the backyard, taking truth on tour, baby, there is sickness, and that umbrella guy's got the cure. Look, it's that umbrella guy knocking at the door. No more ministry of truth than the plot of 1984. They're dumping all my verbal clips. The case is filled with knowledge. They're on the mic like kindergarten, and I'm taking them to college. Why the mask, baby? Cause this has to be a crime. I'll take the mic and boom, there in the chalk outline. I used to throw elbows, but now I'm dropping nukes. You wrote another hit piece, isn't that cute? And the worst part, they'll never learn it before the stakes start channeling, crash and burn. They pretend that we need to get their permission. That umbrella guy crushing their ambitions. You're not my competition. It's that Umbrella. It's that umbrella guy steamrolling them out for fun. Mic check, mic wreck, paging this army of one. There's no hesitation, no doubt, not even a scintilla. The Tokyo baby and me, I'm Godzilla. Crushing them like Godzilla, like Godzilla.
Crushing it like Godzilla right into the weekend. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I like that song. I do. I'm starting to be able to sing along with the whole thing.
Me too. It's funny actually. The one, you know, the police call. Like I said over here, and I just mouthed it the whole time. I've heard it so many times.
My favorite part of that call is when that girl, he's like, "I really need your help." She's like, yeah. And like, sure, buddy.
That whole police call is really funny. Like it is. God, it is fun. I'm gonna have to pull that up one day.
We gotta stop this guy at least until Monday.
Yeah, you know, and when Monday came around and nothing happened, that was the funny part.
I've called him like 20 times. Take a hint, buddy.
Yeah, he kept popping up in chats, and he was like, you know, call me and we'll we'll talk this thing out. I was like, we ain't talking shit out. You're not my buddy, and you're not my competition, son. You know, you're the thing I till the fields with. I'm telling you, that freaking live stream of that guy is the funniest thing on the internet. It has to be.
I have watched it. I have seen it, or I think you sent it to me. The one about the vampire.
Yeah, the cult, the freaking, oh my god, that dude is such a whack.
Well, I told you he got me on the phone multiple times to tell me these stories, and I would just sit there and go, yeah, waiting for him to tell me something that had some kind of evidence. It never happened.
Well, you know, what's weird is I wonder how much of his life was real. I mean, he went to prison, you know, for scams and, you know, being part of he reminded me of Paint Chips in a lot of ways, you know, a lot of bluster, but not a lot of, you know, you're like, yeah, a lot of this is bullshit. You know, you're just some loser that scam people out of money, you know? But he was
my favorite scam was when he had somebody call me to pretend like he worked at Gavin Newsom's office to give me a scoop. And I was like, after this guy told me his story, I was like, okay, great. I'm going to need to see evidence that you worked for Gavin Newsom. And that's when it all fell apart. It was hilarious. I'm like, okay, yeah, bye-bye then.
Well, you know, so anytime there's something that owns the other side of, you know, a social or political spectrum, you know, a lot of outlets will pick up on it. And what was really funny is a lot of the fringe outlets picked up on him because he went after Gavin Newsom, you know, he was trying to take him down. That's why I was telling you that, you know, he had this scoop and stuff. But a lot of people, they took him serious. I mean, they took him very serious and reported all this stuff, and it's hilarious. I was like, did you not listen to the call he was showing you? Because they were like, oh, this call is a bombshell. It's like a bombshell. This guy's a wacko.
He's a whack job. Not to mention that, like, he must have had some crony of his call me and pretend to be a staffer of Gavin Newsom's, and all I had to do was try to verify. Okay, tell me where you work, or let me see your ID, your employee ID. And he's like, well, I'll get my manager on the phone. I'm like, yeah, that's not going to do. That's not.
Makes you wonder how many people like didn't even do that bare bones. You know,
well, I'm sure they didn't. That's the whole problem with the media. They don't verify things. They just run with it, and it's embarrassing.
Hey, Chad, y'all want to see something really interesting? By the way, it's random, but you want to see something cool. So, you know, sexy.
I do.
Well, you know, Sexy Toast in our in the intro. There's a lady. She goes by Real. She's on Twitter. She's at Real REAL Pamster PAMSTER. She sent me something. It was a while back, but still, I want to show this off. I was rearranging everything after the water leak debacle, and I had to move all the cool creations that people have sent. Check these out. Aren't they pretty? Look, there's a male sexy toast. I love
Sexy Toast.
Yeah, and there's female sexy toast.
That's so good.
Look at it. It must be love.
It's so cute.
I love them. She even got the expressions on the butter.
I know. I love it.
I mean, those are amazing. I love them.
Fantastic.
She also made like a full size. Look at this thing.
This thing is so cool.
Yeah, it's got cool. You can see the sticks that go down its arms.
I'm so jealous of this.
Yeah, it's a full size puppet. She sent two. There's a little Umbrella Girl puppet too. She made, but these are freaking amazing. She made some cool stuff. I just want to shout those out again. Like, she made the coolest stuff.
That is so cool.
People should follow her. Give her some love. Like, again, it's the at Real Pamster. You know, she
very talented. That is a really cool puppet.
There are a lot of really talented people out there, you know, that
yes, there are.
I'm like, man, I wouldn't even know where to begin. I'd get like a needle and a piece of thread and or a piece of fabric and be like, I'm done. That's about it. Yeah.
I used to be a lot more creative when the kids were little. I just don't have the time anymore.
Yeah, I like making stuff, you know, like I'll draw or write something, but I've never been able to visualize images like that, you know.
I made Halloween costumes. I made busy books for them, like made out of felt, you know. I made so much when they were little, but I just don't do it anymore. My sewing machine is getting cobwebs.
good Lord, it was a bunch of, there were, let's see, 15, 18 memberships at the very beginning. Up there's 23. Man, thank you, folks,
Cool.
already. Yeah, there's 11 super chats already rolled in. We just got started. That's amazing. Thank you, folks, by the way. You are very appreciated. There's about 3,000 of you. If you tell people we're live, we got some crazy stuff to talk about today. Some absolutely crazy stuff. And in fact, I couldn't believe when I saw this. Max Lab actually was talking about this, and I thought, do what now? So let me pull this up. You know,
I just found out about this literally half an hour ago, and I was like, what?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm
Are
going to
you
go
kidding?
over everything to it too. So the guy, Megan talked about this on her stream, but we'll go over the report again. So the person that was on the property of LMNOP and JC, you know, the guy that got arrested for battering elders and
His elderly father.
yeah, and has a history, which we'll show that too. I mean, that's part of the record, which would have been a violation. Well, right now, if you look, we should be used to this because of what happened with Patty. Remember, when we got toward not going to do anything about it, you saw a little case status set to close.
Mm.
They're dropping, see, action dropped or abandoned with status. So they're dropping the case.
This is not surprising. This is Levy County corruption at its finest. They let violent criminals wander the streets. They don't have, they're too lazy to take it to trial, even though this guy violated his probation with a violent crime. He should be going immediately back to jail.
And with the type of crime it is, with elder abuse and, you know, attacking somebody, a issue that you don't decide whether or not you press charges. See, there's some confusion a lot
the
of times.
state
Like
presses
yes.
charges.
You have no control over
it doesn't matter if his father decided he doesn't want to press charges. Nope, doesn't matter.
So there are people that will get confused on that and be like, well, you know, maybe it's the victim's choice. It's not the victim's choice whatsoever. It's them deciding that they're just not going to do anything. And it's insane when you look. So there were 2 documents that came out of this. One of them we read, and another one I want to show on this too. We'll show the arrest thing in just a minute, but I want to show the other document that went with it. So it actually talked about a little bit about this person. So check this out. This is something else. It goes with the arrest report.
This is freaking
so
craziness.
It
the Levy County prosecutor should be ashamed of himself. Dan Owen, you're an absolute disgrace to your profession. You're an absolute disgrace, you lazy piece of shit. You're letting this guy who admitted to huffing himself into a blackout, who does not remember what he did, beat up his father, who's 75 years old, violating his parole, and you're just going to let him skate.
Yeah,
you lazy piece of shit.
The drug use alone is a violation.
Oh, yeah.
So
and he admitted it.
Yeah.
He admitted it.
So, I mean, that should be a problem. So here we have him talking about, you know, on Earth. Again, this is the record that's out there. You know, what's interesting is they redact part of, you know, items and then they don't redact others. But hey, so they talk about the offender here was placed on probation for the offense of possession of controlled substance without a prescription and battery.
Battery.
Yeah.
This is not just drug use. Look at this.
Yeah.
Of an officer, firefighter, medical provider, public employee. Now, I don't know if that means one of each or just one of
No, it's just
one of those.
that falls into the count. Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it, though. If
It might be all of them. You never know. They were all like gathered together and he was like,
that would be really
he
funny.
did like a wrestling move into a table.
It was like a dare. Can you take out a fireman, a cop, and a first responder all in one day, and a postal worker?
It's like one of those weird challenges, you know?
Yeah. Yes.
Like my friends dare me to do we were playing a really weird game of truth or dare on it. I swear. You know, that's what happens.
It's like a scavenger hunt, but for crackheads.
Like the little people in the wall, they're like, hey, you know, while you're huffing that, why don't you do this, truth or dare? You know?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. but yeah, I mean, he's got a violent history here. So
Mhm.
he's on probation. They're noting this, for a term. He was on the term of 24 months in accordance with statutes, blah, 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 that the offender has not properly conducted himself, but has violated the conditions of his probation in material respect by violation of condition 5 of the order of probation, by failing to live without violating any law, by committing the criminal offense of battery on a person 65 years of age or older. February 21st, 2025. Levy. Yeah, I mean, what's up, man? Like, what?
This is so bullshit. Guy is on probation for being a violent criminal, and he commits violence again while he's huffing himself into oblivion, and nothing is going to happen to him. Nothing. He violated his probation. So now the question is answered. What would happen if Gabe Weeks violated his parole? Absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
So
not here,
yeah.
Man. This Florida is a fucking joke, man.
What a joke.
It is. Levy County. I mean, there is something really wrong there. It feels like one of those. I started watching that show Wayward Pines. I'm not going to ruin anything about it. This guy, he ends up in a. This is how it starts out. He ends up in a town, and it's great until you want to leave. You just can't get out. So that's the premise that they tell you if you look it up. And I thought, man, it's kind of like that place,
Yeah.
Everything's great until you want to get away. Something's terribly happening. They turn the blind eye to everything. Oh,
God. This prosecutor, his office is a total joke.
Yeah, I bet you money they blame it on the victim in some way.
Oh, I'm sure.
The victim, he's not going to cooperate with it. He doesn't have to cooperate.
He doesn't have to. You got he admitted it, first of all. And he also was on the drugs. And the drug use alone is enough to violate his parole. Mm-hmm. That's enough. He needs to go and do some jail time and dry out.
He needs something. And unfortunately, with people like this, if they don't hit rock bottom, they don't make the decision in their life to change things. You can't force them into rehab. I mean, you can make them go, but you can't force it to change them. You can dry them out. Maybe they'll have an epiphany, but it looks like,
well,
like this guy's
off the streets for a while, Yeah. At least keep him off the streets where he can't hurt anybody else for a while. So he can't hurt another 75-year-old man.
That's it seems like Levy County protects criminals. It doesn't protect the people, the prosecutors and the judges are not protecting the people they're there to protect, which would be, the citizenry.
Yep.
I mean, they won't act on honest to God violations of protective orders. They won't act on just egregious items. They should not just be investigating, but they should be acting on. They should be doing something about, when somebody's bringing outsiders in to stalk you and more. I mean, that's fucked up. We got some crazy stuff to talk about with that today, too.
I know.
I swear to God, these people, man, they love being scammed over there.
It's pretty depressing, is what it is.
Hey, by the way, we're going to get a survey done.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, the scam, the grift is in full swing again. They're raising more money.
Oh, I can't wait to bring that up. We've got screenshots for all of that. Somebody took screenshots, so props to them as well. It's beautiful off that. But yeah, the way that, anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. I will go to that one in a little bit. So here's the arrest record, though. Talking about, again, like May was saying, there's a lot of admission in this. So on 02/21/2025, I responded to the address of redacted in reference to a possible physical disturbance. I love how it's written. It sounds like a disturbance in the force or something,
Right.
Upon my arrival, I'm in contact with the witness redacted. That's a lot of redacted. With the witness.
Elemental
P,
maybe.
Yeah. That name goes on forever. And the victim redacted. Actually, the redacted victim looks like quite a bit too.
Mm-hmm.
Good Lord. And advised that there was a physical altercation between redacted and the defendant. That would be Andrew, which resulted in Andrew attacking redacted. Now, I spoke with redacted, and he advised the following. Redacted had confronted Andrew regarding his drug use. So, like, this should be a problem right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have an obvious violation here. And
Yeah, guy on probation, clearly using drugs.
judges typically take that very serious. They don't like it when they're like, hey, I'm going to give you another chance. And you're like, you know, going to go huff it up.
Right. And beat up my dad at the same time.
Yeah.
What a joke.
So it gets confronted for this, though. Now, this causes a verbal altercation to ensue between Andrew and redacted. So Andrew shoves redacted with his bicycle. You know, at first, like, into a bicycle. No. He hits him with his bicycle. You know, and I wonder if he's like, get away, and pushes him a little bit, or is he talking about like picking it up and hitting him with it?
Yeah, right.
You know?
We don't know. It's not really clear.
It's regardless, man. I mean, that's pretty jacked up no matter what. And he begins to stroke. What a typo, man.
It's a pretty bad typo.
Repeatedly, yes. With both of his closed fists.
All right, that will never not be funny. It will never not be funny.
Oh, that's amazing. What a typo. Yeah, it's amazing how one letter there,
just
one
changes
vowel,
the entire meaning.
Yeah, you buy the wrong vowel, you're like, whoops.
I've read this 3 times. I still laugh every time.
Stroke him repeatedly with his closed fists. Like, wow, that's some pretty interesting foreplay.
It's an interesting assault there, son.
Yeah, exactly. Now, redacted was unable to defend himself. Yeah, somebody's trying to stroke me with their closed fist. I'm like, oh, what am I doing? What's happening? Son, this isn't Kentucky.
Oh no.
Shit.
Oh no, Rebel Bird. Look at Rebel Bird's emoji. Stop that. Now you just stop that.
That is funny as shit. Oh my God. That's awesome. Oh Lord. The chat cracks me up, man.
I know.
They do. The chat is amazing with this stuff. So,
Chris Price says, "Gifted guy if it takes 2 hands."
I imagine like with gloves on or something. That's why he has to use closed fists. You know, either that or their boxing gloves. Dun, 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 dun. You're like, oh gross. It's like a really bad version of Rocky. You know, it's Get Your Rocky. You're like, what the fuck is this about? Gross. But he's unable to defend himself because Andrew's bicycle had him pinned down onto a pile of redacted's belongings. See, that's what like shoving him with a bike, okay, but the bike's pinning him down.
Yes, so, I think he might have picked it up and hit him with it.
Yeah, threw it on top of him, and I mean he's elderly. He's 72, you know. Nothing against if anybody is older out there. I as I get older, I feel this way. With my grandma, I know when she was in her late 60s, like a strong breeze would have knocked her over for real. Like no offense.
Yeah, that's how my mom is. Yeah.
So you can imagine like a 72-year-old man. He's out there, you know, regardless of any of the relationship woes, they got to be worried about them, obviously.
75? Damn. If he hits his head, he could die from a stroke or blood clot or, I mean, anything. At that age, it's really dangerous to fall. Really dangerous. This is so bullshit that this county attorney or whoever state attorney is just, it didn't do jack about this. What an absolute disgrace.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting to that point where I feel that about them all the time.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. Me too. They're a disgrace to his office, a disgrace to his oath. That's what I think about Dan Owen. Disgusting.
It gets worse here. So when it been knocked over in the incident. So Redacted pled for Andrew to cease the attack. However, Andrew continued to strike him.
Okay, that's horrible.
Yeah, so he's laying on the ground. He's 72 years of age. He's pinned with a bicycle. Look, telling him, hey, your drug
because he said,
use.
son, you need to stop your drug use. I'm worried about you.
I was reading that one of the super chats. I saw it last one, right? It was like, hey, now you can't marry your first cousin in Kentucky anymore, but you can in Florida.
That's probably true. Yeah, this is a Florida man story for sure.
It very well is, man. And now you know why there's so many Florida man stories, because there's these prosecutors that absolutely suck.
Because they're absolute garbage when it comes to prosecuting crimes, apparently. At least in Levy County, they have the worst prosecution rate in the country.
Some of these supers, man. John, I saw this one. Andrew struck himself. Andrew didn't stroke himself. Oh my God. I've seen some of them roll in. Well, it's a serious topic, but my God, some of these are hilarious.
Well, you got to laugh where you can.
Well, oh my God.
Otherwise, we'd be crying. I mean, the injustice is so gross.
Well, in Levy County, I mean, honestly, Levy County, as I said before, when I see this kind of stuff, it really makes me worry about Jeremy Hales and everybody associated with him.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, nothing happens. I mean, this right here, again, we're going to get some pretty awful shit, like worse than this, because we're going to have admissions there. So Redacted also advised that Andrew had struck him repeatedly with all of his limbs. This is so weird. Not just his fists. However, Redacted cannot elaborate further than Andrew's use of his closed fists. He windmill punched me, with his just his fists. Like, what? That doesn't make sense. Okay. So I didn't observe any bruises, any marks or injuries on Redacted that would indicate the presence of extreme physical trauma. He's 72, dude. You have no idea. And on top of that, you have no idea, like, if it's jacked him up.
Yeah, internally. Did they take him to the hospital and get a scan?
Of course not. They didn't do anything. They didn't do anything at all. They were just like, I didn't see anything. Well,
yeah, I didn't see anything. So he's fine. Nothing to see here.
Yeah, you don't know. Like, this guy may lie about something. He may tell you, like, he could have busted up his hip or something, and he's covering for his kid out there.
Oh, this is so sad.
It is. I mean,
you could have internal bleeding. Any number of things could be going wrong in a man that age. Oh, just disgusting.
Yeah, like Candace said, Florida's the #1 state for child exploitation. So,
that tracks.
Yeah. Tennessee is the #1 for missing children. So it's creepy to know that. Like, I'm like, man, if I go anywhere, my kids have to stand in front of me. Like, it freaks me out, like, internally, like, just.
Oh yeah, when they're little like that. Yeah, it's scary.
I can't have them like around behind me or anything. Like, it just freaks me out. Like, I feel panicked inside. So I can't have them out of my eye range.
God, when I went from 2 to 3, that's when it was terrifying, because I'd be out with them by myself. And I would lose track. I always would lose track of my little one, not little one, the middle one. And I would be turning around going, where's Fairy? Where's Fairy? Where is she? And she'd be right behind me going, I'm here, Mom. I'm here.
Yeah, I had
to this day,
I mean, they're
I
fast
still do
too.
it. They're fast.
I was at Books A Million. Oh, no, Barnes and Noble in Murfreesboro, and I had gotten them something over at the little deli thing, and we were walking over. They'd overcharged us. They double charged something. So I was walking, and we were in a line, and I I think it was 4 seconds I hadn't turned around because my oldest daughter was, behind in the very back because we were all moving like in a little line. And my youngest was right behind me. I turned around, and 4 seconds, she was already making for the door. Yeah, she saw something in they have like books in between the like double doors there. And she saw something. She's like, ooh, shiny, She's kind of like me, except as a kid.
Luckily, I never had wanderers. They always stuck right by me. But I mean, probably because I was always like, I was hyper aware and stay next to me, stay right by me, hold on to my hand, hold on to my skirt. I used to have them hold on to I would wear skirts so they could hang on to my skirt while I carried the baby so we could cross the street or something. But it was hard when they outnumber your number of hands that you have. It's just scary.
For a little, I actually, when I had one, I used the backpack leash thing. You put a little thing on the backpack. Yeah, but with two,
people
it looks
yell
like
at
walking dogs
for doing that. Yeah, people get very upset about that. When I was little, my mom was one of the first people to use this. I think she may have even made it. But what she did was she made bracelets for us.
No.
I think they might have been made out of Velcro, and then it was attached on each one like a telephone cord, like like the curly ones. So we were connected by bracelets, so I couldn't wander off too far. It was smart.
Yeah, actually, it's a really good idea. I kept having this mental picture, like with one, we got one with like wings on it and stuff with a backpack. It had a little. Like the little leash so they can't go too far away from you, but
I think that's an incredibly good idea.
Yeah, and they look good,
there are people who criticize you, like, you put your kid on a leash. It's like, you try to walk a 2-year-old in the mall.
Hell yeah, man. Well, not just that, somebody can't run up and grab your kid.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
From them.
Yep. It's dangerous to be like letting them wander around.
There are a bunch of creepers out there. We had a experience when we had our oldest, rather. It was just one kid. We took her over to get pictures, around Easter to give to the grandmas. And these people kept following my wife around, and they tried to stop her. And they wanted to hold the baby.
Oh my Lord, that's scary.
They did that. Well, one of them walked over and opened a door while the other one, and I was paying, and she flagged me over, like, hey, and I saw what was going on. And when I went over there, they were like, bam, gone. I know.
My Lord.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't me. They probably saw my gun. That's probably what it was. So like, whoops, we're out of here. Yeah. But it's crazy. It's crazy how fast they can happen. Anyway, that was totally off subject, but I mean, it just tells you how messed up. And, you could put a dent in this if you really took crime seriously, but these places don't. Look at the kind of crime. Look what happens. I mean,
they don't take it seriously at all.
No,
not at all.
So contact was made with Andrew following his return to this address. Okay. So this is what he's going to say. He advised that he was huffing a substance right there. Violation.
Yep.
Right.
Should be right back to jail.
Yep. He's huffing and does not remember what happened during the altercation. So
that's terrifying.
Yeah, and it's the same thing that got him in trouble before. He got high and he got violent. He attacked somebody. So it's the same thing there. So the police officer, let's see, Sergeant Gaffey advised me on scene that he made contact with Andrew under consensual circumstances. And that is when Andrew advised Sergeant Gaffey that he had harmed his father. So he admitted to it.
He admitted it.
Yeah. So he tells you.
Again, this is another one, just like John Cook. Admits it. And at least this kid didn't lie to the police. John lied to the police. And still they drop it. This is crazy. Insane. This is not how law enforcement is supposed to work. This is not how victims are supposed to be treated.
Well, and that's the thing, like with that depo that we were looking at when they were talking about what they do for victims. And we were like, hey, some of this stuff is pretty messed up, talking with opposing counsel, and you can't
Talking to
do something.
witnesses.
Yeah, you can't service a victim properly if you're going out and talking to opposing counsel and all of this. You're there for them, the victim alone. It doesn't matter what else is there. They're not detectives. They're not supposed to be investigating. They're supposed to be helping with certain basic fundamentals. Getting you help. Like making sure you have support. They're not there again to investigate. Why the fuck are they talking to anybody? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. That is not their job.
Yeah, they're not investigators.
Yeah. So when that woman was talking about, the communication setting in, why? Why would you do any of this? Like, none of that. Again, you're like a therapist. Your only job is to advocate for that person. You don't decide what the court's going to say about guilt or innocence. You treat them like a victim. It's so messed up. Anyway, so at the time of the incident, the victim redacted here, 72. Drink that in there. So Andrew was born in 83. How old is that? Man, my brain. I'm gonna look that up online.
I don't know.
Too lazy.
I can't.
How old?
I can't do math in my head.
I can't. I just took my pill.
Well, you said he was 83.
Hold this. Someone born in
42. Makes him
Okay,
42.
so he's 42, beating on a freaking 72-year-old. 30 years as senior.
Scary.
Thank you.
Chat does math so much faster than us.
Yeah,
It's embarrassing.
Like I said, I took that freaking. I'm surprised I can even make sentences. I do say some weird fucking sentence structure shit sometimes. I was listening the other day. I was like, "What the fuck did I just say?" But I don't really care that much. It makes for entertaining listening. So hey, enjoy it.
It's part of the lore.
Yeah. Based on the witness, victim statements, along with his admission there.
Yeah, it's a slam dunk.
Yeah, I mean, this right here, they should have been able. And again, we're not talking about someone that has a clean record. Even then, they should be putting them on probation. You get a second chance program. Like, whether you like it or not, unless somebody commits felony assault, felony domestic battery, whatever. And to get a felony is, whoa, you'd be surprised what somebody can do to another human being and it be considered non-felony level.
Ugh.
Yeah, they put cigarettes on them, all kinds of shit.
This whole system is so screwed up. I can't even take it anymore.
But they give you a do-over. They give you one do-over. So I just think that's so weird. And again, I'm not saying people can't be rehabilitated, but essentially what happens with the do-over is they drug test for 6 months. They drug test them a couple of times and they have to take, I believe, 2 anger management classes. It's like I can't wait for
BBB to go to bat for this guy. Let's go, BBB. Let's hear your defense for this guy who beat up his dad and admitted it while he was huffing. I want to hear you defend this piece of scum.
Well, defend Levy County, all their great grand decisions that they make.
Yeah.
Because they're so awesome and so good.
Disgusting.
And the police officers in this, they did their job. They charged them. They actually.
It's like the cops. And how'd you like to be those cops, by the way? So you put in your whole day's work, you do all this paperwork, and this one's a slam dunk. This should be no problem. And then you find out a few days later, the prosecutor isn't even going to try. Like, do you get to a point where you're like, why the hell do I do this anymore? Why do I show up at all? Why do I make any reports? I could just sit around and eat donuts all day because it wouldn't make a difference.
Yeah. That's why you have apathy with police officers many times. And maybe that is a problem in Levy County too. Maybe it is apathy. I don't know. I don't
Well,
want to make
you
any
know,
excuses for them.
how many times does this need to happen before you start just phoning it in?
Well, what needs, unfortunately, when somebody like this goes out and it finally ends up in something really horrific. I'm not saying this isn't horrific, but I'm talking really horrific.
Lasting damage, murder, something like
when
that.
somebody dies. Yep. When a human being loses their life over something, nobody will pay for it. Like that's it. I mean, that is the reality of it. There will be no real there will be, the person who did it will go to jail, but it would have been preventable. Nothing happens.
Yep.
That freaking depresses me in a lot of ways because
Yeah.
I hate to see it carried to that level. I mean, I think, again, we look at it from the outside and we know that there is something broken here. Oh, it frustrates me so much.
I agree. It's awful.
I'm going to pull up the other one in just a second. I was looking for something real quick. There was somebody I missed last night. Wanda sent a 10, by the way, last night, and I missed this, and it annoyed me because I saw it after the fact. Do you ever do that? Like you see something after the fact, and you're like, crap. So she had sent a cash app of 10, and I thought I caught everybody yesterday, but I did not catch that one. So apologies with that too. I noticed it, I marked it, and I did not want to forget that.
Wanda sent one to me too yesterday. I hope I read that one out. And so did Cheryl. Cheryl sent one today too. Thank you, Cheryl. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I mean, and everybody again, I can't say that enough. You are very appreciated. It's amazing. Like I said, 50 on the day is a good place, a very good place. And right now we are outside of it, we're at 39 already. So that's amazing. 11 off. So
yeah, that's awesome.
That's crazy. So this other thing I want to point out. Now, there's two, I'm going to call them funding. Well, you decide what they are. You decide if it's a grift or not. You have, number one, you have this this push to pay the legal bills. Now, we've noted that, but it's been popping up. Let me pull this screenshot up here. You see this happening repeatedly in chats. And I mean, again, this is thousands more dollars that are being asked for. On top of, instead of people sitting down and being like, hey, what the fuck is happening with more money? You have another PayPal link being shared around. And this PayPal link at the time of set up, you can see Manskin reportedly set it up. Was supposed to be, that's the Hale's depo invoice. He was asking for almost $4,000, and that's interesting. You're talking about a bill from December 2024 they still haven't paid off.
It's pretty terrible.
Well, it's really crazy. They have access to a lot of money. They 100% could pay this stuff off, but instead,
so the barn hasn't been built. And the memorial hasn't been built, and the bills haven't been paid. The hell did the money go?
Yeah, well, I mean, why aren't they covering this themselves? But again, it's the questions I guess you're not supposed to ask whatsoever.
Right.
It's somehow separate funding. Now, on top of this, you have another thing, another grift going on. This after the 56,000, you would think these idiots would wake the fuck up. I have no empathy for any of these morons anymore. Any of them. You want to get removed from your money? Good job, sucker. I mean, good job. There's been this discussion, though, about land surveys. So there's going to be, I'm going to show this in a screenshot order, but I'm going to pull one out of it first. So you have a discussion about, the whole memorial stuff. All of that has led to, high drama, of course. Now, there have been people asking about, like, what the fuck? And they've been confused about it. But you have LMNOP talking about, well, they did have survey markers out at one time. They had problems with neighbors behind them. Now people should wake up and be like, wait a minute, you had problems with other neighbors too?
Yep. Well, we already knew that. Remember
we do,
the
but
pooping in the posts.
But the ecosystem, they don't report that. They don't report any of the things. But she's admitting it. Hey, they have problems with other neighbors too. So, if you've got this, if everything else outside of this one place, you have like a patient zero, we'll say, everything else is infected with this rage. Maybe something causes it.
You think?
Yeah, maybe.
I've been saying that she had neighbor problems in Northport too. We're just going to ignore that.
Oh yeah, of course they do, because they're all fucking morons. All of them. If you're sitting in the chat today and you're listening to, you're a moron. You are an absolute moron if you back these people. You are, because you have enough evidence out there. Again,
we've given you so many receipts. They never show receipts. We always show receipts. I've got interviews with people from Northport you can listen to. I've got letters no trespass orders on neighbors in Northport.
She herself says John Cook red flag. Something terrible with my kid. She said it. Bruce admitted he verified that the messages were real. He said that Shar was doxing those messages. That means they're real.
Yep.
But they don't care. Just throw more money at these people.
I don't know. There's nothing we could show them. At this point, I'm convinced there's nothing we could show them that would make them see the truth. They're blinded and they want to stay that way.
They want to back morons. Now, what's really amazing about this is they start asking for a survey. All right. Now, the price of this is going to go up real fast. So you have discussions about, we can get a survey. Now, you see her, she says, it's going to cost $500, right? I mean, you see that very clearly. It's going to cost $500, and you can see people starting to give money to it. Now,
again, you cannot, this is a violation of terms of service of YouTube. You cannot do fundraisers using super chats.
Indeed, you're not supposed to do this at all. And who knows if any of that, again, they're saying that we're not actually doing fundraisers. We're not doing it, so
it's lies. Of course they're doing it. That's
they're definitely dropping money into pockets, but they're turning around and telling you, well, they're not showing you what anything goes to. They're not actually showing you where any of the money. I'm looking for one. So along the way, somebody in the chat says, yeah, actually the survey, from what I can tell, costs something like $2,300 or $2,500. So it goes from $500 to, I looked it up online, and here it is. So you have a person, and this starts to become the new norm narrative. It goes from Element OP telling you it's $500 to, I just asked Alexa. Again, Alexa is not a fucking receipt. You're supposed to have a clearly defined goal when you fundraise. So you're not supposed to do it on YouTube, not through super chat. You're supposed to do it through a page that is clearly marked. You have no idea how much it's for, and it's over drama bullshit. They're wanting to go in and they're wanting to restake Jeremy Hale's land because of this memorial bullshit. 2 sticks they put up on the fucking road.
I don't know why they're even can't you just get the survey from the last one that was done?
Oh, they want to do a new one.
Oh, that is so dumb.
Yeah, that's what they're raising money so they can hope
on his can they even do that on his property?
That's a real kicker question, isn't it?
So they're raising money to do a thing we're not even sure they can do because it's on his property. He's not going to let anybody on his property.
Yeah, I'd be like, fuck you very much. You're going to touch my property.
Yeah, no. You can't call and get a survey on somebody else's property. You can't.
So nuts.
I've never heard of that.
This is so nuts. So they all start donating to this, though. They start raising money. And I mean, it's nuts. So again, you'll see a couple of these screenshots, more than I showed a couple there is what I mean, so you'll see them pop up again.
Well, the chat says they're doing it for the neighbors.
Yeah, well, they're not really doing it. Yeah, they're not really doing it for the neighbors, though, are they? Because when you think about the property line there, they're talking about Jeremy Hale's property. They're saying somehow now it's disputed. So they are indeed going into his property.
Yeah, but if the thing can be done on the neighbors, and then those surveyors will mark the property line from the neighbor's property.
Yeah,
but this is the same neighbor, I think, that did the bad sale, right? They didn't just close.
Yeah, exactly. And now they're going to bring in. You're not going to tell me in a place like that you're going to get like a fucking surveyor that might be on the, well, hey, it costs $500. We raised, we raised $2,300. Let's pocket a little bit, and hey, here's a little on the slide there. Let's see. Regardless, this again, it's more fucking drama. It's
like they're trying to draw Jeremy into more lawsuits, because I guarantee you he has a survey, a recent one. Because that's how he found out that there was the encroachment or whatever it was that was wrong. Mm-hmm. So his survey, by the way, is legal. That's a legal survey. The last one you have on a property, that's the legal one. If it does not match up with the one that they do at the neighbors, now you're talking court again. Do you see what they're doing?
And you've got a third party that is sitting here harassing him. And you've got LMNOP sitting in the chat, harassing, talking about, let's raise money so we can fuck this guy here.
Yep.
Again, that is another third party violation.
This is crazy.
And she's taking part in it. So you look at all these lemmings that are just like, here's money so we can get the Hales, so we can get them. And they're, the money's not just coming through YouTube, because you can see them mention it. You can, like I said, you can see money.
Here's a start.
In. Yeah. Oh yeah, you can do more. You can do more fundraisers too. Oh yeah. Do that. Survey says, and people are talking about the memorial and the survey. So somehow they're trying to buy themselves time with this too, because people started asking some legitimate questions. In my opinion, they started asking questions about what the hell happened to the memorial. And there's been weird stories. So reportedly, I was reading some of the, again, I'm not going to watch their streams to catch up on all this crazy. These are not my screenshots. I trust the source they come from. They watch it, and I appreciate the hell out of them for doing it. But
doing God's work out there, folks.
Yes, indeed. There are a few of you out there that you really do. So I can laugh at some of the stuff, but I really do not want to go in and watch any of it.
We appreciate you from saving us from that.
There's been many excuses about the memorial. At one time, there was reportedly an excuse of they were going to order it from like China or something, and it couldn't be delivered, and that changed to we never did anything with it. We had a donor back out. It's like, what? Don't you people listen?
And they just the listeners, they just buy it. Yeah, okay, here's more money for your next thing that you're not going to do.
Just idiots there. Again, you see her popping in talking about the she's also saying when the neighbors, she brings up the deputy again. The same deputies, by the way. If the deputies really are helping out, here's a question: why the fuck is Levy County helping this person, especially after they decided to drag them into court? Why would they do anything like that?
They keep doing it.
Yep. I think it's because I think it's the enemy of our enemy. I think that's what we're seeing. You had somebody, he called out, Jeremy Hales called out the right person. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
And it feels like
I like how she admits she has a problem with the neighbors behind her.
Yeah. Yeah.
So perfect.
Indeed. And these morons don't even notice that. Like I said.
Nope. They go right, they skip right over it.
Yep.
Like, yeah, it's totally normal that she has problems with more neighbors. Yeah, that tracks. Sure.
I like how
That's
they
not
all
suspicious.
turned on. I mean, you got to remember, this is the same crowd that turned on a guy because he asked where his $56,000 went. They turned on him. They've unpersoned him. So that's the kind of, when you're over there, here's the thing. Any place that forces you to have a specific narrative, they force you to have it. They don't disagree. They will ban you for even mentioning somebody. Mention a Megan Fox.
I can't
you
even make a comment. I can't even make a comment on it. I mean, all I said was, "This is hilarious." I mean, they banned me. I say, "David, I'll help you get your money back." They don't want him to get his money back. They ban me.
Yeah, it'd be like, hey, what happened to David's $56,000? I'm wondering, hey, justice for David. I wonder, like, again, watch how fast you get banned. Like, one of you listeners out there that frequents this bullshit, like, how fast do you think you'll get banned? You get banned real quick. And that, I think that says quite a bit about it. So, anyway, you have them, though, like I said, they were like, we had a neighbor behind us pulling up survey markers, the sticks that were marked with pink flags. And when I called the deputy, he helped me locate the marker. If they were pulling up the markers, how would you be able to locate them?
I don't know.
I mean,
maybe she means she found it like outside or something. Like they found it in the woods or whatever.
You've seen the freaking woods around. You think some freaking sheriff's gonna wander around there? Yeah, what is it like? did they hire Crocodile Dundee or something? Good day, mate. Sure, I'll help you.
Don't make me laugh that hard. Crocodile
I can imagine
Dundee.
Crocodile Dundee going into Otter Creek. That'd be an awesome episode. That'd be wouldn't it? He'd be like, "Oh, you Americans." Ugh. That would be. That'd be a great remake.
Use for that giant knife of his out there.
For real. I don't know, man. You say that, he's like, "You call that a knife? This is a knife." Like, these days, it'd be like, "You call that a weapon? This is a weapon." You have I'm not going to say their name. You have a certain person wander out, and you're talking about little people, like pulling that out on them.
God. We need a new Crocodile Dundee movie.
I started, I don't know why. I got thinking about that. I wondered if the little people in the walls told him to do stuff every now and then, kind of like, I watched something with the Son of Sam, and Son of Sam was talking about, the dog. He was like, "He never leaves me alone at night. It's just bark, 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 bark." And I thought, I wonder if the little people in the walls are like that, They never leave me alone at night.
According to Shara, and this is interesting, according to Shara, she told me that Lynette made up the little people on the walls story.
Yeah.
That was purely Lynette's imagination. Yeah, her fiction, which is great. I mean, why doesn't she write a novel? Why doesn't she write a book? Why doesn't she write a horror story about little people in the walls?
How do you write it when you live
and like nefarious adoptions and stuff? She could write a hell of a thriller.
I gotta write down Shara too. That's another. We never
if she could write
her video. That's another
Which
thing.
one?
We never,
oh yeah, I know. Look, we have so much to get to.
We got the depot to finish.
I want to get to that. I'm like all excited about the depot. I want to keep reading because I didn't read ahead. So like I want to get to that.
I didn't either. I've made sure to stay, to stay away from it. When I saw this, I was like, man, I really want to cover this though.
Yeah.
But you see them, they're still pulling up money. And of course, Ray Bone Crusher, I guess, is he in the chat? Did I see him in there?
I don't see him in that one.
He probably was, though, because they're mentioning his comment. So I'm sure that's about it. And what's interesting is you'll see certain people, when they're discussing, they'll actually, they're not just, like I said, giving money for survey. They're, and look at this, too. They're talking about, here's you another one. Bruce deserves to be compensated. I can't wait for that one.
What are these people doing? Why do they want to give their money away? I don't understand.
That again, if you liked their show or whatever.
Yeah, that's one thing.
why are they raising money for Crayon? Are giving subscribers to that? And I'm sure they'll probably raise money for it too. But why? But look, they're sending Zale as well. So you said they're pushing the Amazon wish
look,
list out.
$100. Holy shit.
And they're pushing it toward the bench. They're still pushing the memorial.
Survey and or bench.
Yeah, the memorial.
These people don't understand. When they put that on a super chat, it doesn't mean anything. They do not have to use that for a fundraiser, which is why, because that is income. It's streamer income, which is why they're not supposed to be doing fundraisers through super chats, because there's no way to monitor it, to keep track of it.
Yep.
Oh, this is so frustrating.
It frustrates me. But like I said, I don't have any empathy for these folks anymore because, after the 50, you would think the $56,000 would be the thing that kicks it, and people would be like, hey, wait a minute, there's a problem out here.
But no, you've got people still dropping a hondo for this garbage. Like, really?
Yeah. The person that took screenshots, they said while watching, they figured they made at least $400 that night.
Oh my God.
At least. And that's not any money that you're not seeing represented here. So any outside link where you don't have somebody specifically say that, you have no idea how much money they're making. Because they're not mentioning it. See, that's another thing. You talk about transparency. Look, I read every super chat unless I miss something. You hear about everything that gets made from anything, because I read them off because it's part of something. And I'm not freaking fundraising. I don't fundraise. Like, if I needed something, I'm not saying I'd never do that. If I needed a new whatever,
But then you set up a crowdfunding site so that it's all there and it's all accounted for,
and
everybody
they don't
sees
take 30% of it.
And they don't take 30%, and you see what the goal was, and you see when you hit it, and then you turn it off. You don't continue to just do this with no transparency. No, this is a bad idea.
It's a fraudulent idea is what it is. Because again, all they have to, we go through and we read these and we, allot it. Okay, well, how are they deciding? Are they taking off fees? Again, there are other things that come into play as well. There can be other fees. So how exactly would you ever do that? And the simple fact of it is you wouldn't unless you gave 100% of what's there. And they're saying, by the way, that all that new technology that came from super chats.
Well, of course it did.
Yeah.
It did. But also, how would anybody know if it came from super chats or
where did it come from?
Or how would you know?
Well, how many thousands of dollars? Oh, this is fascinating too. I forgot to send something over to myself. So give me a minute here. I forgot to send something over for tonight. I screenshot it earlier. I got curious about an item we had discussed before. So, sometimes you have those moments. You're like, So hey, just give me a minute. I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to get ahead of myself here. It does have to do with casework and more. So I wanted to find out, we had talked about deletion of videos. Well, we talked about proof of that. Now, there are a few people that are hard to tell that with, that Ray, for example. Ray gets so little traction that it's really hard to tell when he has an issue. But you can tell at one time he did have a mass deletion in July last year for some reason. Now, newer, he's got so few items coming in. Like again, look at this. Like, how do I tell if there's a mass deletion?
Yeah.
I mean, he's not pulling in. He'd have to delete quite a bit. But you can tell at one time he did have quite a bit disappear. Now, interestingly enough, 2Ls, they in Miltoast, they have within a couple of day period. Yeah.
Meal toast. Oh, you got me. Got me
So
on
this
that
is how
one.
you tell folks, by the way, if you're wondering about deletions, you can see it from things like this. You'll see, you go along, you have some blips here. This is when they start covering Jeremy Hales, by the way. Before that, there were nothing. And nothing. And then this is all Jeremy Hales.
Mm-hmm.
So
And there's
you
their
see
big
that.
deletion. They got
Yep.
rid of a bunch of stuff.
Now, what's interesting with the days, so you have this on January the 24th, you'd say, right thereabouts, could be the 23rd, but it looks like around somewhere in that area, right in there. This, look at that. Look, right in the same area, here you have milk toast. And look, there is his deletion. Now, again, it slows. It doesn't show as much because look at his shitty metrics. Look at this.
Lord.
God, that's sad.
That's depressing.
It is. One time he had a blip.
Big spike.
And
I
then
wonder
he had
what
to
that
delete
was.
it.
Was that
It's probably a
Jeremy
Hale's
Hales?
video. It's
Yeah.
probably a Hale's video.
Probably.
And one time he got a little love on it, and he's still holding on, being like, "You guys are my families. I love you. Don't yell at me, chat."
My mental health can't take it.
I really did. I'm telling you, like one thing, we should have sat down and listened to the 10 minutes where he whines about the chat being mean to it, but everyone turning on him because I'm like,
oh, I didn't have that timestamp written down. I don't think I've heard that part.
oh man, it's after the call, like after that fails.
Yeah.
Just listen to that afterwards. He like devolves into just, he starts using words like family. I mean, typically, like I would have normally zoned out, but I kept thinking maybe he'll call back. Maybe he'll try to call David the donor back. I wonder, by the way, I don't know. I need to ask people who keep up with all of this stuff if there have been David the donor sightings since all of that happened. Is he still frequenting certain channels? Is he still super chatting? Because I'm curious about it, or if he's just pulled the plug.
Good question.
I mean, they made a fool out of him. They did,
yes.
And I do wonder again if what happened with him. It's like a lot of these people, especially the ones that pump in money. Do they not allow them to question this? Because if they allow themselves to question this and they figure out, hey, wait a minute, these people did scam. I mean, think about that. How many people have you ever met that proudly told you, I got scammed for $100,000?
Oh yeah. Most people who get scammed don't ever talk about it.
They never talk about it. Never.
Because it's too embarrassing.
Oh man.
Dave Neal talked about that once. He said he was scammed once, and it took him all this time. It was like 10 years ago. It took him all this time to even mention it, and he only mentioned it because of the Laura Owens thing, because he was talking about her victims and how embarrassing it is for them to come forward. And he's like, I was only scammed out of a small amount of money, and I never said anything to anybody because it's too embarrassing.
Yeah, pride, man. It's a pride thing, But it amazes me again when you're forced. People are going to believe what they want to believe ultimately, but when you're forced to walk lockstep, when people even dare again to ask, hey, where's my money going? I want to see it publicly. Why don't you show everybody? And you would think again they would be proud to do that. They show off anything else. So
true.
I mean, you saw the garbage fence materials. You saw that shit. They were like, look, we bought this. I mean, holy shit. So, I mean, if they do that, you'd think they'd proudly want to own everybody else, but they suddenly don't. They suddenly don't want to show you. They don't want to show how amazing they've been in raising money. That would be an own. Look, we managed to raise 6 figures. That'd be an own if it was 100% going to that.
Oh, that's a really good point. That's a really good point. If they had, I mean, that would be a great brag point. Like if I raised $100,000 for somebody for a project I was doing for them, I'd be showing that everywhere. I'd be like, look how much money we raised. This is amazing.
The thing is, though, if they raise $100,000, the money spigot would turn off. Because people would be like, that's enough money.
How much more? It's like David said, how much more does she need? Yeah. It's always more. That is her MO. It's never enough. look at how much has already come in, and it's never enough. It's not enough, guys. Not enough.
It's never going to be enough. They're going to continue that through. It's going to go beyond the case. They're going to try it in some aspect.
Oh, they've already set up that Christmas thing to be every year. They started a new channel for it.
And it's all contingent on Jeremy Hales. That's the thing. They're not watching. Let's be honest. They're not watching because of Lynette Preston. They're not. They're there because they're all colluding on destroying some dude's life. And they think it's all fun and games because on the internet, it's all fun and games for them. They take a flamethrower and they say, well, it's because of whatever reason. It's giving them a reason where a guy with massive success, where he sits out there, he talks about his faith and everything else. It's giving them a reason to destroy him. And it's disgusting.
Sad.
You know what? I'm not going to cover Depo tonight. I'm going to read Super Chats and be done.
Okay.
I'm kind of, I don't know. I feel okay, but I don't feel great. It's hitting me today. So.
Well, that's all right. Well, I'll sit with you.
All right. So, Elu, thanks for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you for that. That is much appreciated. Thank you. BK, thank you for the gifted membership too. Excuse me, folks, too. I'm going to read faster probably than normal. I'm not feeling great right this minute. Mel, thanks for the gifted membership. Thank you for that too. Tease T dropped 10 there. Thank you, Tease T. That's awesome of you. Thank you. Jack's mom, thank you for the gifted membership too. Thank you on that one. Elu, thanks for the 10 there. During a rough dental procedure today, I listened to a live stream last night. Assistant is a follower of both, so we listened together during the procedure. That's interesting.
Really? Was that a coincidence?
Yeah. Was that just random there?
Did you just find that out? I'll watch the chat, Elu. So go ahead and answer. I'll watch the chat while Tug reads.
Maybe just a tiny bit better. See, you're getting 2 weeks. That's interesting. That's fascinating.
That's fun.
BK, thank you for the 5 gifted membership. And again, I very much appreciate those. I don't want to diminish them by reading them fast. Like I said, I'm not feeling great right now.
If you need me to take over, you let me know.
I appreciate it. Susan, thanks for the 2 there. So happy to be a thug. Well, thank you for that. Appreciate it. So happy you're here. Carol, thanks for the 2 there. Love you both, but love return.
Love you too.
Max Lab, thanks for the 2. What up? Well, what up with you? By the way, again, thanks to Max Lab. Pulled up a lot of stuff. Again, a lot of that stuff with the arrest. Max Lab, thanks. Esha, thanks for the 6 months. Happy birthday to Rizilla's Realm. Well, I can sing the happy birthday song. I have to, I have to do the Chi-Chi song. Happy birthday for all of us to you. Happy birthday. May all your dreams come true. Yeah.
Woohoo. Andale.
Yeah. I always do that. I'm like, I don't like singing the happy birthday. That's.
I know. It sounds like a funeral dirge. That's why you don't like it.
And I don't sound like Marilyn Monroe, so I can't sing you the other one.
Happy birthday to you,
Mr. Chat member.
Mr. Chat member.
That's terrible. John, thanks for the 2. It's interesting. It rained in Phoenix, Arizona. Does it not rain?
Not very often. In
fact,
it
like a snowball's chance in hell kind of thing?
Yeah, when it does rain, oftentimes it evaporates before it hits the ground. So it's raining above your head. And that's really weird. That is a really weird thing that I've seen it. I went to ASU. So the lightning storms are epic though.
That's wild. Weezy Wills, thanks for 5. Sounds like the chill pill worked last night, Megan.
No, the blood pressure is still really high.
3, thanks for the 10 there. Megan, you would have time for crafts if there weren't so many ridiculous violence.
I would.
Indeed. But you wouldn't be entertained as much on this front,
Also true.
Rick's Cowboy, thanks for the 2 there. I love the corporate tug look. Thank you. Yeah, I like that.
Corporate tug.
Yeah.
It looks like banker tug.
I was doing corporate lawyer with ridiculous amounts of jewelry.
That's funny.
Kesha, thanks for the 5. The 8th Judicial Court needs to be looked at for corruption. Daniel Owens and the Maine State's Attorney.
Yes.
Yes, 100%.
Yes,
You're
they
right.
do.
Robert, thanks for the 5 there. It's a sorry-ass district attorney out of Gainesville, Levy County, and 8 say yes. Indeed, you were right on that. 100%.
Mhm.
Is that, how do you pronounce name?
Tramari Crandall?
Tramari. Okay, Tramari.
That's what
thank
I would
you
say.
for the membership. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to the. I'm terrible with any. If I can butcher a name like Anne, I called Anna the other. I was like, what? How did I do that?
Well, I could be wrong. It might not be Tramari
It
either.
looks right. Is that correct? And they'll be like, ha, 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 you're ridiculous, both of you. It'll be funny. Tricky Nikki thinks of the 2. What if it had been a child he attacked? I don't think they would have cared. Honestly, I mean, we saw a kid get a pew pulled on them. So did they care? No. I have my favorites. Thank you for a gifted membership there too. Thank you for that. Again, love those. Thank all of you for those. Rebel Bird, I saw that super sticker, by the way. That was funny. Thank you for it. We all had a laugh off of it. Travis, what's up, my man? Good to see you. Thanks for the 5. I was on probation for a DWI. And if I even had alcohol in my system and showed in a P test, I went back to jail. Do not pass, go kind of shit. Yeah, indeed. That's typical. Like a lot of places are like that. And, that's the only way for accountability. If they're going to give you a way out, then they should, and it's ridiculous that they play that game there. By the way, there's Venmo. KP sent 10 there. It says, thanks for all you do. Have I gone to the post office? Yeah, I did go to the post, but I've got to go back. Maybe I'll go tomorrow. Again, I've just been kind of, so I haven't gone as much. People have been doing stuff for me, which is weird for me to just say, SL, thanks for the 10 as well that was sent through Venmo for you and the Tuglet. So, well, thank you for that. That's awesome. That's a great picture, by the way. I saw your picture on there. That's cute. And again, Cheryl sent 5 over as well. Again, thank you for that too. I'm making sure I didn't miss anybody like I did yesterday off that.
Yes, thank you, Cheryl. Cheryl sent me 5 tonight too. Appreciate that.
Green Veggies, 6 months. No statement on that, man. 6 months. That's a big statement. Thank you. John, thanks for the 2. Billy Idol saying stroke me. I was thinking every time I think Billy Idol, I think White Wedding.
Yes, me too.
The Lurker. I read that one. Hey, now you can't marry your first cousin in Kentucky anymore, but you can in Florida. Yeah. I like that one too. I read this when Andrew stroked himself. Andrew didn't stroke himself. I like that. Gosh, thanks for the 20 there. Megan the Problem, as a Levy County residents, voted against state's attorney, 8th Judicial Circuit, because of what county is that?
Alachua
County in Gainesville voted to keep so they can arrest, but not prosecute. Yeah, that is a real problem too. That is, when you're such a small freaking place there, for sure.
Yeah, it's a problem. These people should go.
Thanks for the 5. Both of you check your Venmo. Really enjoy your content. Y'all made my day. Thank you for that. And I read through that. Thank you. Like I said, I just very much appreciate it.
Venmo. All right, I'm checking.
That's cool of you.
Venmo doesn't send me notifications as much as I would like it to.
Yeah, it should. See, it's supposed to send me, and sometimes it doesn't, and I've got them turned on because I can go through my email and look them up,
Yeah, so Sally sent 10 on Venmo. It says to make the Delulus wah. And Carla, thank you for the 10, says, thanks, both you and Tug make me laugh. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's really sweet.
Finding out about the Second Chance program, so what that comes with, anger management, it's only one anger management class, and that's 6 months. So you can go out and do horrible things to another human being. You take one 12-hour class.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. And here's the fascinating thing. So if it's like DV or something, in order to allow that person back into your life, you're like, hey, I don't want that. The person that wants them back in, you have to take 4 8-hour classes. So you have to take more
You
classes.
have to take more
than
when you're the one who didn't commit the crime.
yes.
You were the victim. The victim has to take more classes than the criminal. That's
Yep.
insane.
That's here anyway. That's in Tennessee. I know that for a fact. I've seen
That's
it.
insane.
Yeah, that's nuts. You know. So Candace noted. Thanks for the 10. Florida is the #1 state of child exploitation. They've proven countless addicts.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Known convicts on the property. LP says JC is inappropriate, and still HG is left with LP. Frustrating and disgusting. And there will never be enough. That's the thing. That's why when I say don't contact, it's a frustrating thing, but it doesn't help. And these litigious pieces of shit, they just use it as a weapon. So. Red Wolf, thanks for the 5 there. Appreciate you, Red Wolf. Levy County, the new deliverance spot now. Indeed. No, I'm just playing. Sister Sal, thanks for the 5. Listen to you. Work on replay. Everyone asks me why I giggle all the time. I tell them because I listen. Y'all are hilarious. Well, thank you for that. Yeah. I listen sometimes. I would listen to live streams as new radio essentially at work, and people would look at me like I'm crazy sometimes. It's funny. John, thanks for 2. Tugs Adventures and Medicated Speed. I know. It's amazing. Oh, that's funny. Cindy, thanks for the 10. Hi all. Preemie granddaughter had 6-month check today. Doing great. That is awesome, then. That is very good. Smiling and happy baby, rolling over, living the best life. Her older sister's best friend. That is awesome. That's good to hear. You know, with preemies, you worry so much, and that's great news. Mud Dog, thanks for the 2. You don't mess with postal peeves. they shoot back.
They shoot back. Yep, that's true.
What's up, DJ Radis? Thanks for the 2. Hey, Tug, Megan, everyone else. I miss. Love y'all. Hey, love return, my friend. Thank you. Red Wolf, thanks for the 2. If Jeremy Hales would have done that, he'd be in jail. That's true, too. If Jeremy Hales did any of this stuff, he would have gone to prison for sure. Yep.
And they would have gone after him. They'd prosecute him for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
None of this,
away.
too lazy to do anything or second chance bullshit. No. He'd be in jumpsuit orange.
Yep, he'd be under that jail. Cynthia Fireberry, thanks for the 9 months. I would like to know what types of cases Levy County does prosecute. Rare ones. They
we're not sure.
I mean, they let for real. So Megan noted this. There was an article that came out. There was one case it mentions where they have somebody is essayed at gunpoint. There is physical
DNA evidence.
They plead it down where the person does not have to register. They're not ever put on a registry in any way, shape, or form.
Didn't do any jail time.
Yep, no jail time. So
this made the news, and it wasn't an article I wrote. It was like a major newspaper in the area. Like in fact, I meant to contact that woman. I really need to do that. Tell her what's going on over here.
Somebody needs to bury that freaking place.
I know.
Thanks for the 5. Megan, does PJ Media have a share button on your articles so they can be posted on X?
They should. I'm pretty sure they do.
Yeah. If not, you can just dump them in. You can just take and put in the link, and it'll generate the article.
Right.
There. You live there too? Well, that's and the good thing too is good people that are there. Don't let these people define where you live. If there's corruption and shit, shout it out. You have the national. You have a huge spotlight right now. Use it, but be careful too. When you're doing it. Rick Cowboy, thanks for the 2 there. Maricopa County, 4 months for probation violation. Yeah.
Maricopa does not screw around.
No, they don't.
You will end up breaking rocks in the desert. Do not get caught breaking the law in Maricopa County. I'm telling you right now, you'll go to the tent desert.
Yeah.
It's 120 degrees out there.
I've seen like documentaries on it. It's nuts, but hey, you learn. Misbehaving. Drop that gifted membership. Thank you, Misbehaving. That is awesome. Again, I ran through those quickly. Thank you, folks. Just one person's opinion. Thanks for the 10 there. Hey, y'all, you get a breadstick. You get a breadstick. You get a breadstick. Enjoy your night. Thank you. Thank you, Oprah. Cindy, thanks for the 5. My mom used a leash on my youngest brother. He turns 59 this year. I I like them. I think they work. Again, people who have any problem have never had kids. Like that's what I feel like sometimes.
Exactly.
Misbehaving, dropped a 2 on there too. Dropping in to drop some loving in here. Well, thank you, Misbehaving. That is awesome of you and very appreciated. Subi Sue, thank you for the 10 there. Much love to you both. Love and thanks for what you do. Thank you. Thank you. That is awesome. Elephant, thanks for the 2. They need an X nomination for Todd Finder. That's funny.
I love that.
We need to do our freaking, we got distracted with all the health issues and we never got to do our awards.
Oh, I know. We've talked about that.
We got to get, we need to get some people to help with the awards and throw them together. Judy, thanks for the $5 super sticker on that. Thank you very much. That's appreciated. And until I get clarification on your name, I'm just going to call you TC. I just want to make sure. Heartfelt thanks to you and Megan for helping me survive the last year with all the laughter and craziness. Thanks to Megan for being so kind when I lost my son 1 year ago. I really appreciate you both. I'm glad we could be here, and that's awful. That is
Thank you.
Awful.
I am sorry to hear. I'm sorry about that, and I'm glad that it was helpful in some way. Yeah. That's all I can hope for.
That is. That's one of the reasons we're here. That's why we live stream on holidays and stuff, just to make sure, because we can do something good. That's why we cover certain cases and everything else too. Pickled Tea, thanks for the 5. The Hudson sisters own the side and behind as well. LMNOP's property does not touch Jeremy's property. Yeah, they're probably talking about the 2 people. They're wanting to raise, again, they're third-party harassing. Yet again, they're doing something to harass Jeremy Hales with yet another crazy thing. Alex Pont, thanks for the 5. Otter Creek morons do a memorial. Town City Hall. Stop this stupid crap. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to raise thousands of dollars, don't they have an area where you could get permission to put out a bench? Couldn't you do that in town somewhere?
I would think so. I would think you could move it anywhere you needed it to be for that kind of money.
That's nuts. Lewis, thanks for the 5 there. Her property is on the other side of the street. So what's the survey for? For drama. That's what it is, for drama. They are trying to pull some BS with some of Jeremy's property that he bought. And it's with 2 other people. Again, it's just weaponizing more drama. That's what all this is about. They've found more people that they can weaponize. And unfortunately, it'll never end. There will always be another thing. And they can grift off of it.
Yeah, it will never end. I mean, they've stalked him where he lives. And I'm talking about the ecosystem too.
Yeah.
They're stalking him. It's not going to end. Even if he left Otter Creek, look what they're already doing in Cedar Key. So he's got these condos. He's got these condos in Cedar Key, and he's trying to do Airbnb. And they're telling people to contact the mayor or whatever and do the same crap that she tried to do in Ohio. How is this okay?
It's not. It's not at all. In fact, that looks like you could get an order against morons doing that too, if they're telling people to harass, in that area.
I would hope so.
Max Lab, thanks for the 2. Tug, the sheriff was never served to be in court. It's another thing. Like, they never even went forward with that case, like with the Andrew thing. Like, there was nothing done. It was like from go, you were never going to have a case.
Yeah.
That's strange, isn't it?
Very.
Ted, thanks for the 2. Campbell is being held for a parole violation. Yeah, well, let's see. Let's see if they actually keep it. That's the thing. Because again, when you're dropping the case, if the case is being closed out, you saw it there. If it's closed out, how do you say they have a parole violation? How do you have a parole violation on a case that doesn't exist? It's
a very good question.
So let's see if it happens. I mean, again, John Cook was in jail for 4 months, and then suddenly, poof, everything goes away. So, Red Wolf, thanks for the 2. Call the book The Blue Bucket Thriller. LOL. Jackie, thanks for the 2. Entire book is one long run-on sentence.
Right,
Oh
done
my
on
God.
text to speech.
Oh, that would be amazing, actually.
No punctuation.
Yeah, you could probably recreate it. We just get out and
And doesn't she spell the word period? Period.
ridiculous, period. Sandra D, thanks for the gifted membership there. Thank you, Sandra. Appreciate that. Jack's mom, thanks for the 2. Imagine LP's book, pure fiction, no punctuation. Exactly. That would be amazing. It'd be so crazy. Jansen B, thanks for the 5. Levy, and he did come out when LMNOP called and said that they were pulling up property markers and filling them with poop. Yeah. So we put a police video. But yeah, actually we saw the video. That's the slap video. Remember, which Shara mentioned? So
Oh yeah.
we were talking because it was funny. We were laughing about the property markers and the poop thing. Man, we should revisit that. We really need to.
We have too much to catch up on to go back
got to, though.
now.
That one's a good one. Gail, thanks for the 5. They said that they poop in the house so they can smell them where they're at. Gross. That is a gross idea. Jack, thanks for 10. I remember when Texas was the weird state. Now it's Florida. Wait, I live in Florida. God help me. Indeed.
Oh, you got to see on PJ Media, actually. One of the guys who writes for us, Steve Green, he's so funny. Vodka Pundit. He writes it. He used to write every week Florida Man Friday updates, and he would just pull all the crazy news stories out of Florida, and they are hilarious. Check that out sometime. You'll laugh.
There's some awesome Florida Man stories.
Oh yeah.
Paul, thanks for the 5 there. Making it +5. BBB -5. Indeed. Thank you. Hey, by the way, again, somebody send me over if there's police video of the pulling the stakes and like when the police go out there and accusations of poo being put in that. If he put up a video with the audio and the video, somebody send that over to me, please. Because I think I do want to watch that because I don't think I ever watched any police video. And I don't think I ever played the entire recording of that. So that might be interesting. Ellie Funk, thanks for the 2. Wow. That line goes off a cliff. It does. It's like train wreck. It's like you drove off a bridge. Subi Sue, thanks for the 20 there for Megan's blood pressure.
I see she sent another one a little later for your blood pressure.
It's hilarious. It's
funny.
Paul, thanks for the 2. Sadly, the baby with LMPNOP's forever meal ticket. So much sad in this stuff, honestly. Okay, the cat lady thinks they kind of like Jeremy's faith equals toxic positivity. Well, they take faith or anything else. There's certain things you're allowed to attack these days. Like if he had a different belief system, again, you look at what they're weaponizing. They weaponize anti-Semitism, right? But look at what they do over there, meanwhile, in attacking Jeremy and his faith. So, it's not a faith.
Constantly. What would it be like? Ray Bone Crusher's made multiple videos saying that Jeremy's not a real Christian. How can he call himself a Christian? How would it be if he were Jewish? Would you be able to make the same video? Is Jeremy Hales really Jewish?
No.
Is he a real Jew? No,
they would write the ADL and everything else.
Because his religious practices aren't up to your standard, or his beliefs, you call him not a real whatever. Like, you wouldn't do that. You could not do that.
I feel like they make fun of like all types of stuff as far as physicality. They'll make fun of anything they can. But of course, if someone has a big nose, apparently that links to something,
Stupid.
CBC.
Oh, I sent you that clip of Bruce, he has no clue who Nick Rekieta is.
Oh yeah.
That was so funny.
You should pull that up in your next.
I will.
I
will, because that's funny.
Emma, thanks for the 2 there. Feel better soon, please. Thank you. I'm not feeling bad. I'm getting ready for a freaking that CCTA, so I have to do prep for it. It's not, but I do need it. I have tests coming up on Monday, so I don't know. Sunday and Monday, I'm not sure. I may live stream Sunday before like anything, but Monday, I have no idea how all that'll impact. So we'll see. But I need it. I've been waiting on it for freaking like 5 weeks now. So I'm looking forward to it, getting it done, maybe getting an answer. Mike, thanks for the 5. Let's Bruce the Deuce in jail for contempt yet? Because they never do anything. You know, it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. Harry, thank you for 5 gifted memberships you dropped on that. Thank you, Harry. That is awesome. Again, very appreciated too. Gone to the Dogs also dropped 5 gifted memberships. And again, I know I'm going faster than normal, but very appreciated for sure. Elephant, thanks for the 2. Megs went to SU, man. You're in poolside tanning.
That's absolutely correct. I have a master's degree in poolside tanning. If you need any knowledge about how to suntan, come to me. I can tell you how to do that, and also scope hot swimmers at the pool. That's what I did in college.
You minored in checking out lifeguards. That's what
Yep. No, it was the swim team actually, but yes, that was what I did in college.
So you were a Razorback?
Oh, my father was not pleased.
Joyce, thanks for the 10. Buy the girls some ice cream. Indeed, I actually have to get them some more. They took out all the freaking ice cream. You know, hey J Hip, thanks for 5. Hey y'all, ready for tomorrow? Oh, you got that stream tomorrow, my friend. That'll be good. People check out J Hip's channel for sure. That will be the last one was great. This one has to be entertaining.
Yeah, that's gonna be funny. That'll be tomorrow.
God, I feel like the first one needs a good, like, live reaction watch, you know, part of it.
Yes.
For real. It would help the
We
channel, I
should.
think.
That'd
It's been
be
there long
funny.
enough. I mean,
We should do that. That
Jay,
would
you care? Like, we would do that one day, you know?
I don't
That
think
be
he would care.
No,
but
I would
I'll
ask him
ask him.
live. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cash, thanks for the 5. I can tell you all kinds of stories about good old boy system, especially county DCF Super. Man, write about some of that for sure. You should tell some of those for sure. They could be anonymous sourced, you know, curious, or if they're not for public consumption, if you just want to tell them, you know, so it would fill in some blanks. That could just be for, you know, the FYI benefit. Kelly, thanks for the 10 there. I'm behind. Memorial is located on old church property that Jeremy bought. The neighbor encroachment was the guy who sold the finger. Properties don't touch hers at all. No, what's happening though is, again, she is sitting there weaponizing another party, helping them go after Jeremy Hales. She's having her PR team raise money for it. She's sitting there talking about it, repeating. I mean, again, they are yet again violating. So while it's not her property there, she is very much involved in this harassment. In fact, you'd have to ask, would it happen without her? That's a real question. The Ball Python King. I love it again every time. Thank you for 3 months. Levy County is nothing but the Twilight Zone.
True.
Indeed. I can believe that. Hey, by the way, Christopher rather, sent 5 through Cash App. Said for the love to you both. Thank you for that, man.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Leanne, thanks for the super sticker. I love the super stickers. The kids, I mean, we've gotten a ritual of go back and look at the super stickers. So they're funny. Especially the little one wants me to go back and review them with her. So we do go back and look at them. I think it's fun. Tink, thanks for the 5. Jeremy was nice enough to allow the family to put up a memorial, but he certainly did not give them the property. No, and we're talking about a memorial from way back when. What is this sticks on the property bullshit? You know, that's not. It's just some random other thing. Like, did the family have anything to do? We don't know any of that. We just know it became a drama thing. And the only time we heard about it was, oh, it was stolen. You know, what a bunch of crap. So, yeah, I mean, Pickle Tink, you know, before, yes, very much so. It was allowed. He said he would have no problem with it. And it looked like, again, it looked like a strong breeze could have blown it away. So all the storms, I think they took it out. Jeremy Hales, thanks. Jeremy Hales. I said Jeremy Hales. That's how clouded my mind gets sometimes.
You're getting tired.
Jack's moms. Yeah, that's why I'm ending. Thanks for the 8th there. Just FYI, LP called in sick for deposition. I knew there was a call in for I saw the document that was there, the unavailability, but I wasn't sure what it said, like who was sick or anything else. We have not had that public. So you could see there was an unavailability document. It'll
Yeah,
get rescheduled though.
I don't know. I didn't hear either.
But anyway, I'm going to end here. You know, I appreciate y'all. Again, I'm ending quick. I know, but thank you all, and we'll see you.
Good night, everybody.